Hi, welcome to a new episode of Sugarfolk Homemade, my podcast where I talk about all the things that I have been crafting. Today I have knitting and a little bit of crochet to share with you guys, and I have quite a lot to talk about. So before we get started, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Michaela and I'm coming to you from a small town in North Carolina where I live with my husband and our 4 kids. And if you're returning, welcome back. Just want to say thank you for being here. And thank you for everyone who watched my Vlogmas episodes. Those turned out to be so fun, and I really enjoyed just documenting the month of December and just sharing life with you guys. And if you didn't watch Vlogmas, but you are a returning podcast viewer, you may wonder why I just said that we have 4 kids instead of 3. So, I mentioned in earlier podcasts that we were in the process of becoming licensed to be foster parents, and we now have a foster child. So we took her in a couple weeks before Christmas, maybe a week before Christmas. I don't remember the date exactly, but she's a little baby girl, and we've had her since then. We've had Christmas with her, and she is an angel, and it's going really, really well. So, yeah, we are now a family of 6, and the days are crazy. I've been wanting to film this podcast episode for a while, but I just haven't been able to carve out the time. So, yeah, I'm sure you can understand why. But yeah, that's been exciting, and it's been fun, and Porter's out here with me today because he does not nap anymore. He just finished building this, what's it called?
I don't know, but it kind of is an animal because it has a tail.
Okay, some kind of Lego creation he found on YouTube, and he had most of the parts for, so he built it. Can I see it?
Don't drop it.
I won't drop it. He has built this guy. He's got a tail. He's been working on this all morning. Oh, be careful.
Oh, it doesn't break.
So
you know
yeah.
what's his fingers? No.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, before we jump into the knitting, I just want to say real quick, if I am like talking weird or moving my mouth weird, I'm sorry. But Sunday, I was eating and I bit my cheek right here. Not even my cheek, but just the skin on the inside of my mouth right here. And that turned into like a little hole. That sounds really gross. I bit a little part there, and now it has turned into like a little sore, and it's trying to heal, but it's right where it hits my teeth. So talking and smiling is kind of weird, and I like have to kind of like move it away from my teeth, if that makes any sense. And I'm terrified of biting it again because it is like a little bit more swollen. So
I think it must be a robot which just has a tail.
okay, that's a good, yeah. Okay, so jumping right in. I am wearing my finished Malwina sweater by Alexandra, and I did not write down her last name to bring it over here with me. As usual, I do not have any notes. I am just winging it. She is Veritan Rose on Instagram, and of course I will leave links to everything in the description box below. But this was my Christmas sweater this year, and if you watch my Vlogmases, you've seen all about it already. But I started this in November, not knowing if I would finish it in time to wear it for Christmas, but I did. So this was knit up in Paintbox Yarns Wool Mix Aran, and I used the color Red Wine, and the yarn is a mixture of wool and acrylic, I believe. And this was I think I just said this was the color Red Wine. And I used recommended needles. I got gauge,
Mommy,
and I knit a medium.
I think you actually just push that into that.
Uh-oh.
No, it's okay. 'Cause
Okay.
It can still do this.
Okay.
And it has a...
And I knit a size medium. I would usually wear a size small, but I wanted this to be kind of a baggier fit. And in the beginning, I did say that I was going to crop it and cinch in the ribbing so that it would have a little bit of overhang, but I did not do that. I ended up knitting until I split for the body, put the body on hold, knit the sleeves, and then came back and made the body as long as I could. And I wasn't sure if I liked it, but now I do. So I wanted it to be long enough that I could wear like with leggings and it would cover up my hips, because I have hip dips, as people would call them. I think most women do. And I like for my clothes to kind of fill in that gap, unless it's something cropped. There's that in-between length of shirts and tops that is just awkward for me. But this turned out to be the perfect length if I want to wear it long, but I can also do what I have done today, which I will show you. So I saw this on Pinterest a while back, and let me show you the sleeves first. So this is a sleeve detail. I have not blocked this yet. I've had plenty of time, but I just have not done it. And it has a beautiful raglan detail as well. And I also just said whale instead of well. I'm really bad about that. Okay, anyways. So it's too long for me to wear it over a dress like this, because it hits at my hips and it just makes me look frumpy. So if you can hear that wind, holy cow. And the screen door is going everywhere. Anyways, it's too long to wear over a dress and for my taste. So I have put on a sports bra underneath the sweater on top of my dress. And then I can tuck in the very bottom. There's the band. Oops. I can tuck it in. And then it is cropped. And it's the perfect length. So there's a hack, if you didn't know. And yeah, the creaky door, I'm really sorry if it keeps making a lot of noise. The door is broken, and we had plans to take it off the hinge a couple weeks ago, and then it was pouring rain, so we couldn't do it. And it's not a big deal until it's really windy like it is today, and it just swings back and forth. So I took 2 kitchen chairs out there and like wedged it in between the chairs, but it's so windy that it's just taken the chairs with it. So I'm sorry about that. So yeah, that is my Malvina sweater. I love it. It is very, very warm and cozy, and I really like that I made it a little bit bigger because it's just nice. Everything that I've knit so far for myself has been very fitted, or not like very fitted, but just my size, you know? And I wanted something that was just cozy and big, so this turned out perfect. Next finished object is one that I also shared in my Vlogmas, and it is my Lana vest by Irene Lynn. Oh, she's a beaut. I'm very proud of this knit. And it worked up pretty quickly, honestly, even with all of the detail. So you can see we've got the ribbed neckline and then lots of cables, some moss stitch on the side. And it does have a high-low front and back. And my favorite part is where the cable down the underarm splits the hems. How beautiful is that? It's like a pretzel. I love it. And I was also torn about what size to make this in, because I had saw where some people had made it cropped and a little bit of a tighter fit, and it was very cute. But my husband talked me into knitting the bigger size and to have it as more of an oversized vest. And it works pretty nicely. I wear it over dresses, and it's just the right length that it doesn't look frumpy, and it helps that it has the high-low hem. So yeah, and it's very warm. It's the same yarn as my sweater, the Paintbox Yarns Wool Mix Aran. And I do not, oh yes I do. The color of this one, I think, was vanilla. It's not white, and it's not really off-white. It's like a yellowy, creamy color. And I did use recommended needles for this as well. My swatch seemed like it got gauge, but it was a very small swatch. And this seems a bit bigger than it should have been. I mean, it's pretty large, but it worked out. So I think my gauge might have been slightly off, but it's okay. Better for it to be too big than too small, right? okay, I think I've got it taken care of. And also, it's snowing. Just a tiny bit. I just saw like a little flurry, which they were calling for snow this morning. And then the chance went down to 0, but I guess it's happening. It did thunderstorm the other day, and there's like an old wives' tale that if it thunderstorms in the winter, snow is coming soon. So I would love a good snow day stuck in the house. Love it. Okay, moving on. Next finished project is a pair of fingerless mitts for my husband. And if you can tell, one is a little bit smaller than the other. This happens every time I've knit mittens. I don't know what it is, but my second one, even if I do follow the exact same row number and everything, one's always smaller. And I guess it's my gauge changing, but in this case, I think I just cast off too early and I didn't make the ribbing as long. And the reason being, I find it difficult to count how many rows are in ribbing when it's at a cast off edge, because I can't tell if I count the cast off edge as a row. I mean, I've done enough trial and error, now I know how to do it, because what I did not work, because this one is bigger or longer than this one. Just by a little bit. I mean, you can't really tell much. And also I used the Marilla's Mittens pattern just for the cast on number, because I could not find a cast on number that would work for my husband because of my yarn, honestly, which was Drover, Queensland Collection Drover Merino Silk Tweed in the color Graphite. So it's classified as a DK weight yarn, but everything I was trying, it was coming out humongous. And also this yarn is a little bit hard to knit with, I feel like, because it doesn't have a lot of stretch. I don't know. I love the finished product and I love this yarn, but I don't like knitting with it. But anyways, these are the mittens. Now you can tell that this one's a little bit longer. And in the pattern, there's a right and a left, because in the pattern, there's like a motif on the front. And I just made 2 of the exact same because the thumb is just sticking out the side. And yeah, I did make the Marilla's Mittens pattern. But in my last podcast, I showed that. It's a very pretty pattern. And I just used the cast on number to get these. And then I did a 4x1 ribbing on the wrist. And I did 4x1 because I just didn't want to spend time knitting ribbing. So that was the easiest ribbing I could do. However, my cast on number was not divisible by 5. So at the end, there is actually a section that is a 6x1 maybe. I can't even find it now though. There it is. So there's one section that is a little bit wider, but the yarn is so dark and you just can't tell. And then at the top, I did a 2x1 rib, and on the thumb as well. So yeah, they turned out nice. It was a fairly quick knit, and I'm hoping that he will get a lot of wear out of them. I just don't understand why they're so much smaller. My counting skills were off. But it's fine. I mean, he doesn't care. He doesn't care, I don't care. That is my last finished object. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new projects to share. So where do we begin? We'll start with these socks. Okay, so this yarn was actually gifted to me by a subscriber, and oh, don't tell me I didn't keep the yarn ball in here, the tag in here. Anyways, in one of my Vlogmas episodes, I opened up this huge gift box of yarn from a subscriber, and oh my goodness, you'll just have to watch it. There was a lot, and it's all so beautiful. So this is the sock I'm working on, almost done. And this yarn is a shimmer sock yarn. So you're not going to be able to see, but it has glitter in it. And I cast these on right around Christmas because the color just screamed Christmas to me, but like a girly Christmas. And so I had this light pink paint box sock yarn, and I thought that it would be really pretty. And I'm calling these my Sugar Plum Fairy socks. So it's just stockinette. I've done a 60 stitch cast on 2.5 millimeter. I used to do 64 stitches, but they seem to be a little bit big on me. Not super big, but I would like them a little tighter. And I don't want to go down a needle size because these are like my sock needles because they're just fixed, and I don't want to have to use up another cord for socks. So I just went down to 60 stitches, and I did a 2x1 rib in the cuff, and then just a regular slip stitch heel with gusset. And I'll be doing, I don't know what it's called, the toe, but where you decrease on either side of the marker. Yeah. And I'm going to do the toe in pink as well. So yeah, I'm really loving these. I knit on these in the morning when I get up before the kids and I have my coffee. Just a little mindless knit. I'm really enjoying these. And my sock mojo is strong right now because now that it's been cold, I've really been wearing my knit socks, and I only have 2 pairs, so I really need to build up my sock collection. So those are the socks I'm working on. And I try to always have a pair of socks on those needles, so when those are done, I think I'm gonna start a pair of socks for my friend Sarah. They were just in town visiting this past weekend, and I had on my knit socks, and she said she liked them, and then her husband said, you should make Sarah some, and I said, I will. You know what? I will. So when I finish those, I'm gonna make her a pair of socks too. Next project that I have started that has not started yet. I have so many things surrounding me right now. Is a muscle burr hat for my stepdad. I knit him a beanie last Christmas, and he wore it all the time, and he called me sometime in December and told me that he was at work and he lost it and he needed another one. And I said, okay, well, you're gonna have to give me some time because I got lots of gifts that I'm knitting at the moment, but I will make you another one. So part of the yarn in the box that I received from a subscriber was this sock yarn. I am really failing. I did not bring any of the tags over here with me, and I'm really sorry. If anybody really wants to know, you can ask me and I will dig through my little box of tags and I'll figure it out. It's just a black and white and gray. Well, I guess there's really no black. It's mainly just different shades of gray. And I have paired it with this, which I also did not bring the tag over here for. This is something, I'm pretty sure this was Cloudborn that I got on Lovecrafts really cheap the last time I placed an order because I needed to get to the free shipping and it was on sale, so I bought it. And anyways, I'm holding them together to create this texture. Not texture, this color texture. And I really, really like the way it's turning out. And I'm using a US 5 for this. And what's really cool about this pattern, I'm sure you know if you watch other knitting podcasts, everyone's knitting this hat. You just start knitting on whatever size needle you want, whatever yarn you want. And then after you finish a good bit, you check your gauge. And depending on your gauge, your directions for the pattern change slightly, which I just think is genius. I've always said to myself, because I hate swatching, why doesn't a pattern just have you start knitting, and then when you get enough to measure, then you measure your gauge? So if it's right, you just keep going, and if it's not right, you just undo it. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of flaw in that, but that's a thought that I have had, and this pattern does that. So I really, really like this pattern. And I don't remember exactly how long it says to knit it, but I think I'm over halfway, because then you pull the bottom up in there, and then you are able to fold the brim. like so. And this hat is pretty much identical to the Carhartt beanies that are really popular right now. My husband has 2 of them, and he actually has a black and white one that's marled like this, and this looks almost identical to it. And he loves it. They're very popular, so I'm sure my stepdad will like this beanie. This is not what I made him last year. This is different. So yeah, but I am really liking that. I am excited to finish it though, because I want to start one for myself, which I will show you the yarn that I have for mine in just a bit. The next project that I have started is my Advent project. So if you watch my Vlogmases, you will know that I got an Advent yarn box from Gem State Yarns, and it was a themed box for the Secret Garden, which I just love. And her description of the colors were like muted florals and cobblestone and like all these dreamy things, and I had to buy it. I could not afford it technically at the time, but I did it, and I'm so glad that I did. I just got the 12 days, and so that was 12 minis, and she included little extra things in each box. It was really fun. And what I have decided to knit with my Advent yarns is the Color Craze shawl by Tammy Gore. This is what it looks like. So you have a main color and then a few other colors. So what I have done, I picked out a main color at my local yarn store on, I think it was Black Friday that they had a sale. And so my main color is this like ashy brown gray color. I wanted something neutral because all the colors, that will be enough color. Again, I did not bring the yarn tag. I'm really sorry. There goes Porter. But anyways, what I've done, it only uses, uh-oh. Be right back. So the pattern has a main color and then 4 contrasting colors. So I wanted to use a lot of different colors for my Advent, so I have put together colors that I think are similar to make up the yardage for each color section, if that makes sense. So I'm currently in the middle of a brioche section, and let me get it. I should have put this on a bigger needle. But so far, this is what we have got. It's wanting to kind of curl up at the middle here. I've got a little mushroom stitch marker on there. So yeah, there's lots of brioche. There's some brioche here with my favorite color, which was honeysuckle. It's like a yellow. And then we've got some purple, and then there's this big sage green section, more brioche, and I'm on another brioche section here. This thing in my cheek is making it very difficult to enunciate. And the other colors that I have to put in that have not been added in yet are this bluish. It would probably help if I took it out of the bag. This bluish purple. And I think I've used all the other ones so far. Maybe not. Oh, no, I have not. I haven't used either one of these actually. This is another blue and purple, but it's a lighter base, and there's more like lavender colors in there. And then there is this one, which has purple and then yellow again, which will tie in with that honeysuckle color. And the purple in this one is more of like a brown, so I think it'll look really nice with the main color that I've chosen. So the rows on this are getting longer, as they do in a shawl. So it is, each row takes me quite a bit, but I'm really excited about this. And I actually just found a sweater at Goodwill that I just know is going to be perfect with this. It's gray, just a gray sweater, but it has a little bird on it. And the bird has different patterns and like geometric shapes in it. It's very quirky. And I just feel like it, I'm so sorry. I sound silly. I just think it's gonna look really cute with this because this is a little bit quirky, you know? It's a lot of knitting is because there's just a lot of colors, and yeah. I'm really excited about that though. And this is fingering weight yarn, and it's knit on a US 5. So you can imagine the gauge is pretty loose. And when I first started knitting, I thought, this is not good. This is gonna be too loose. It's gonna be like see-through. But now that I've knit a good portion of it, it feels so squishy, and especially the brioche, and there's a lot of garter stitch. It is just, it's heavenly. I love it so much. The next the next work in progress is my freesia cardigan. And I've not shown this on a podcast before. This is by Gabrielle Knits. Gabrielle Vazina is her name. This is the pattern. It is a beautiful, very intricate, detailed cardigan. And I have been wanting a pink cardigan. Not like just your regular pink, you know, but I wanted like a baby pink, but that was not just so pink. Does that make sense? In a cardigan. And I found the perfect yarn for it. So my mother-in-law bought me this for Christmas, enough to make the cardigan. This is the Sheepius Terrazzo felted tweed, and this is in the color Sassolino. And this is a DK weight. It is 70% recycled mulesing free wool and 30% recycled viscose. And as you can see, it is a beautiful baby pink, but there are flecks of blue and purple throughout. Not even purple, but like a very light lavender, and it is beautiful. So I don't have a ton complete on this, but I am making progress. This is also knit on US 5 needles. So I'm currently using my US 5s on like everything. And I have to keep taking them off and moving them around. And I'm thinking about just buying another set of 5s because they're very popular in my knitting right now. So I don't have needles on this because they're on my shawl. So I need to be careful not to lose any stitches because it is right at the max of this cord. Okay. This is what I've got so far. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love it so much. I hate, this is so awkward. Every time I look in the camera, my mouth is like sideways. Whatever. So, as you can see, this is really beautiful. It'll be even more beautiful when it's blocked out. But so there is a raglan detail, which is a little easier to see on the back. And then there is a main section down the front of the cardigan as well. And I am making the size 3 in this. Again, I would be able to wear a size 2. That's what she's wearing in the picture, and we look to be about the same size. But I know that I'm gonna wanna layer this over other shirts, and those shirts might be long sleeves. So I know that I wanna have room to layer this. And I just love a cozy cardigan. So I got enough yarn to knit. I got enough yarn for like the size 4 or 5. Because even when I'm on gauge, sometimes I use a lot more yarn than it says. And I don't understand how that happens, but it does. So I got extra just to be safe. And it should be plenty. Of course, if I have to crop it a little, I'm not mad to do that. So that is my freesia cardigan. I'm using the recommended needles as well. I did do a gauge swatch for this one and it came out perfect. I used to be quite a tight knitter when I first started knitting, but over the years, I guess my gauge has really loosened up and I'm sitting about average, which is really nice because so far, recently my gauge has been pretty close with the exception of that vest, but it's been really good. So that's fun because I hate swatching. So I knit like a small swatch and then thankfully I never have to do it again, which is nice. Now, the next project I have is a crochet project. And you may remember that I have a crochet blanket in progress for my sister. And it is a very intricate, very detailed, large blanket. It's like a big mandala that is surrounded by squares, and then there's a big border around that. And I've been working on the squares that go around, and I'm like almost done with the squares, but I just was getting really bored of that. And I told her, like, I will finish this eventually, just give me time. Probably in the summer when I'm not working on a lot of wintry things, then I'll probably pick that back up. But I just got a hankering for a springtime blanket because the other day it felt like spring. It was so warm and the birds were chirping and the sun was shining, and I am a spring girl through and through. I love winter and I love fall. I'm not crazy about summer, but spring is just life-giving. Literally, like, that's why I love spring so much, because everything is blooming and it's beautiful. And the spring hates me because my allergies are always awful. So you would think that I wouldn't like spring, but to me it's worth it. I just love it. And it's warm but not too hot. Anyways, so I wanted a spring blanket for our house. So I remembered that I had learned the tulip stitch at one point, and I thought, I'm going to make a tulip blanket. This is not a pattern. If you look up on Google the tulip stitch, there's a lot of tutorials, but I'm just kind of winging it. So what I have so far is not a lot, but this is how much I have so far. So you can see I've got blue tulips, and then I'm going to do yellow tulips, and then I will alternate the colors. And where am I? Oh, there's no, okay. So I'm doing a green stripe in between the tulip sections just to kind of break it up a little bit. And I was thinking to myself that this would be really easy because I could just carry all of my yarns up. But it actually worked out to where sometimes I'm ending on the wrong end and I can't pick up that color again. And it happened down here, so I thought, well, I'll just knit back again, and that's going to be a section of 2 rows instead of 1. But then the next section didn't line up. So I've just decided I'll try my best to make them end on the same side so I can pick up that yarn. But if not, I'll just cut it and I'll start again on the end, on the right end. And at the end, I will go around and put a border around this blanket, so I'll just cap in all of the ends at that time, which is what I've done in the past for blankets, and it works just fine. So that's what I will do. All of these yarns are just like acrylic Walmart Michaels yarns. I started it with stash yarn, and then I realized I was going to need more, and so I had to do some digging to figure out what colors I had because my Walmart does not sell them anymore, and I didn't have the tags. I didn't remember the brand or anything, but I found them at Michaels. And my sister-in-law actually, I was going to order them online, but I didn't want to pay shipping. And I was like, hey, do you need to go to Michael's? It's like the next town over. It's like a 45-minute drive. It's not the next town, but a couple towns away. And I have not had a chance to go because we have lots of kids, and it's hard for me to even leave the house with all of them. So I asked her, she knits and stuff, and I said, you want to go take a trip to Michael's for me? And she did. She drove and she got me the yarn so that I could keep going. And like I said, it's just acrylic. I'm pretty sure they're mostly Red Heart Super Saver. I think the yellow might be Craft Smart. But yeah, I think this is going to be so pretty and cute, and I just love it. I love spring so much. Yellow is actually my favorite color because it's just bright and fun. And it's another color. It's one of those colors. I don't like to wear yellow. I really don't think that it looks good on my skin tone, or I don't know. When I've had light hair, I think people with blonde hair look beautiful in yellow because it just kind of reflects the golden tones. But with dark hair, I just feel like it is so harsh, and I don't know. I don't wear a lot of yellow, but I love the color yellow. I know I go on a lot of tangents when I record, but you guys seem to not mind, so yeah. Okay, next up, I have, looking around to make sure I've not forgot anything, I have some plans to talk about. But before we do that, let me do the giveaway so I don't forget. So if you watched my Vlogmas, I announced a giveaway, and anyone who commented on that video will be entered to win. Now, I just remembered that I already announced it. I was gonna announce it on this video, but I've already done that. And I was supposed to pick the winner, but I have not done that. So I will pick the winner, and I will place a screenshot here. And congratulations, you've won! You have won a project bag by the lovely Jesselyn Janice. Her little logo is here. And inside the project bag is a sock set from Biff Sugar Yarns. Beautiful sock set. And a stitch marker, or a progress keeper, I should say. And some of JJ's cards and a sticker. So, if you missed that giveaway, I'm very sorry. But congratulations to the winner. I hope that you enjoy this bag as much as I enjoy the bags that she sent me. And I hope you enjoy the sock yarn. And a big thank you to everyone who entered the giveaway, and just thank you to all of you guys. And if you did miss it, this yarn actually came from the gift box of yarn that a subscriber sent me. There was so much, I just could not keep it all to myself. Like I said, I gave my sister-in-law some, and then we put some in a giveaway. So there is that. And now I want to talk about future plans. So let's start with the one that I have in my bag by JJ. And I showed these bags that she sent me on one of my Vlogmas episodes. Isn't this just so cute? I love it so much. It's a girl on a swing, with a little hat and her apron with her kitty cat. I love it. So I think that I mentioned this before, but I am going to start, now that I finished my husband's mittens, I'm going to start the spring-bound mitts for myself, which I will put a picture of here. They're beautiful with a bird, and they're beautiful. So I have this West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply in a white color, and I have it in this nutmeg color. So I bought a, what is this? Cascade Heritage to go along with it. Got all my colors, and I'm planning to wind this up possibly this evening and get these cast on very soon because it's getting cold and I need some mittens. They're fingerless mitts, but still, I mean, they'll be really warm because they're color work, so they'll be twice as thick, and I'm very excited about those. I've been waiting until I finish my husband's mittens so I don't have two pairs of mittens going on at one time. And now that his are done, let's start mine. And the next project that I want to start is when I finish my stepdad's muscle burr hat. I want to make one for myself, and this is using more gifted yarn. This is also from the box that I got from a subscriber. This is from Hypnotic Yarn in the color Sand Dollar. And it is this beautiful, like neutrally pink, taupe, white color. Beautiful. And another subscriber has sent me some mohair, which I've never tried and I've always wanted to, but I just couldn't ever really afford it or know what to use it for. And we were talking, and she was trying out mohair for the first time, and she said, "Can I send you some?" And I was like, I guess, yeah. So she sent me 4 balls of the Aloft lace weight. This is, this is Knit Picks Aloft. And oh my gosh, it's so soft. I love it so much. And I'm going to pair this with this for my musselburgh hat. And I think that it's going to be beautiful. And I'm really excited. I don't usually wear beanies. Like, that's not really my style. But a pink one, like this, it's not all pink, but it's got pink in there with the pink mohair. I think it's going to be beautiful and very useful, because now that my hair is short, my ears get so cold when we're out in the cold, and I need something on my head. So there's that plan, which should start sometime next week, because I should be finishing my stepdad's hat pretty soon. And then when I finish my socks and Sarah's socks, I also got in the big box of yarn this DK sock set in Total Eclipse of the Heart that I am dying to cast on. This is from Craft House Magic, excuse me, and it's just so pretty. I love teals and I really like purples, so I think that'll be really cute. And also DK will knit up much quicker than fingering weight socks, so I'm excited to have a pair of those, and they'll be a little thicker, so I'm really excited about that. And then next I want to make Caitlin Hunter's cowl, what's it called? Birds and Ships or something like that. I'll put a picture here. And it's designed to use 1 skein of fingering weight yarn. But Michelle, who sent me the mohair, also sent me this, which is Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK in this beautiful like pumpkin color. What's it called? Pumpkin Paradise. And I know we're past fall now, but I really like this color and it's really soft. And I saw in the project pages some people had made it with DK, and I believe there's enough yardage of this to make that. This is 478 yards, so I will give that a shot. I think that will be really cute. I have this like denim blue dress that I think would be really cute with the orange cowl. So I've got that in my queue. And then lastly, this will probably happen when we start going into spring. I have this alpaca DK from my local yarn store. I've showed this before in this like dark salmon color. I think it's called a rusty nail is what it's called. And I'm going to attempt to make a ranunculus with this. Now I only have 440 yards, but I went on the ranunculus project page and I looked at all the projects and I searched DK, and I found a couple that the person looked about my size and they used around this same yardage on like US 10 needles. It was a very fine gauge, but I'm fine with that because this will be, you know, for the spring. It's a t-shirt, so I think I can do it. And if it has to be cropped, you know, a little bit extra, that's fine, because I plan to wear it over dresses in the spring. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I'm really excited to try that pattern because it is literally always in the hot right now section of Ravelry. For a good reason, I'm sure. It's a very popular pattern, so there must be something amazing about it, and I need to know what that is. I think it's because it's kind of like the musselburgh in the way that like it's the same size for everyone. I think. I might have made that up. I don't know. And I know it's also been changed in the past. But I hear a lot of good things about it, and I really want one for myself, so I am looking forward to that. And I do really like this color. I think this is a nice color for my skin. I feel like in the earlier videos when the sun was shining through, I looked white as a ghost. Having black hair does not help my complexion look any less pale, of course, but I just went back to look at the previous videos when I had to stop to fix the door, and I realized I looked so pale. I am pale, but I think this color will look nicely even with my paleness. So that is all I have to show. I actually made it through that pretty quickly, I think. Of course, it's like a bunch of different sections of videos, so I don't know how long it actually is. It's probably like an hour. But thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope that you enjoyed this. And if you did and you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And please comment below and tell me what you're working on, or if you have a New Year's resolution, tell me about that. I don't really do resolutions just because I don't even have the mental capacity to think about that. Like, I'm just living life one day at a time. So yeah, I mean, I always, not just on New Year's, but like I always strive to be more intentional with my kids and my family and my home, and just intentional in all aspects of life. So I'm taking that with me into 2023, but that's the only goal that I really have. Oh no. I hope the power doesn't go out. But if you if you have a goal, let me know below. I'd love to hear them and I'll cheer you on. And yeah, let me know what you're up to, what you're working on. I always love to go on Ravelry and just peruse all the different patterns. So if you ever see something that you think I would like, send it my way, because I'd love to add things to my list. I mean, my list of dream knits is like miles and miles long. We will never run out of patterns with a Dear Ravelry. But anyways, yeah, sorry. I am always on a rant. Not a rant, a tangent. Anyways. Subscribe and like this video if you don't mind, and leave a comment, and I will see you next time in a couple weeks, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your crafting. See you later.